Hello, everyone. This is me, Ify, and I'm back again today with much requested video. All right. As you can see from the title, my journey as a nurse practitioner. A lot of people have requested this video for a very long time, but I'm waiting for a time that I will have the time to really talk about it. I may have to do it in a several series so that way it won't be so long. Um, so many people have asked the requirements. What do I need to do to become a nurse practitioner? How do I start? What do I do? Um, and I know some of my former students were asking, have I completed it? What am I doing now? Are you working as a nurse practitioner? And all that questions. So it's a whole bunch of questions, and I want to address them one at a time. Maybe it will not be in all of them will not be in one video because I don't want it to be so long. So glory be to God. I have completed the nurse practitioner program. Um, I completed everything, passed my board last year, and I have started working as a nurse practitioner. And I am very grateful and happy to say that I found a job, and as soon as I graduated or as soon as I passed my board exam. So that is just the summary of the whole thing. So I will start um, step by step, take it one step at a time, so that way I can explain my journey on how I started this program and what prompted me into doing this program. So I started working as a nurse for since 2010, and I have worked in several capacities. I've worked in the hospital, worked in a nursing home, and then worked in some in psychiatric units. Uh, you know, like nursing it in America is usually something you pick where you want to be. You can change any day, any time, to any kind of area that you like to go into. I actually like the adult nursing more than the pediatrics or the OBGYN. So I never did any of those OBGYN. And once in a while, I take care of pediatrics in the med surg unit, but it's not real pediatrics. It's usually I won't call them pediatrics, but it's usually like teenagers, kids between like 14 to 20. So while I was working as a registered nurse in the hospital, I was working night shift because when I graduated, I had ADN, and a couple of us when it was a night shift, and so after we finish um, doing our things, passing our medication, taking care of our patient, we all sit down and have a chat. So some people were going back to school and studying and doing assignment and all that stuff. So as God will have it, at some point in time, my friend is like, okay, that all of us should just go back to school so all of us can sit down and do our assignments together and, work together and everything, which didn't go too well with me because honestly, I was tired of school. Nursing school drained me like hell. It took all my energy, And in this part of the world, you have to walk to go to school. You have to be either you go to school in the morning, then you walk in the up in the night. So this is how I went to school and paid for my tuition and all that. You also here in America, you can also take a loan to go to school, but it's not everybody that wants to take that loan. I took some part of the loan, but at some point too, I had to work. You still have to work to um, pay your rent, pay your other bills, and your car note. So after nursing school, there is nothing in my mind that school that is labeled school. School, it's just out of my way. So it took my friends and co-workers to convince me to come with them because people you hang out with every now and then in the hospital, they are all doing one assignment, they are all talking about school, they're all doing stuff. So, they finally convinced me to join them. So I joined them to get my um, bachelor's degree in nursing, and that's where it started. After the bachelor's degree in nursing, every we all decided to go into a lot of us decided to go into the nurse practitioner program. So the issue now is, so I remember a couple of us went into leadership, and a couple of us went into nurse practitioner program. I was one of those who said, I want to go into nurse practitioner program. I made that choice because one, I didn't like the leadership assignments. Most of the time, they are called in at home. They don't have a time off, and they are just called at home when there is an emergency. So I don't know when they have time for themselves. I always like to work, and then when I get home, I don't want anybody to call me. I want to do my own private thing. I want to take care of my own private life, and not to worry about things in the hospital or anything. So that was how this journey as a nurse practitioner started. And at first, I thought it was going to be easy, but it wasn't easy. I must be honest. I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but what I'm saying is my own experience. It's a lot to read, a lot to memorize, a lot of assignment, a lot of paperwork, and then you also have to look for your clinical location. I think that was one of the area that I hated so much, that I have to look for my clinical rotation. I chose the school that I went to because they promised they were going to find a clinical rotation for us, but we all finally found out it was a lie. They never found a clinical rotation for us. We were the ones that had to find the clinical rotation for ourselves. So that was where my dilemma started. And I wanted to stop going to school, but I have already invested a lot of money. And I think at the point that I'm saying this, I was already owing the school almost $20,000. So if I stop going to school because I cannot find a clinical rotation, I will still have to pay the $20,000. So, and then with all these things being done, I am still working as a registered nurse. I have to go to work and I have to come home, do my assignment, and um, all the things that come with it. So it was really tough. But at some point, I finally found a place and started my clinical. And I couldn't find anything in the city where I lived in. The only place I found something was in Los Angeles. So, and from Los Angeles to the part of California where I live in, it's about 3 hours drive. So, um, and that was really difficult. So I had to take the bus because driving that after work to LA and come back, and I have to work the next day was a difficult decision for me. At this point, I was teaching, and then, I had to give up my teaching career, and then focus on this, and then pick up a job that I had to work on a weekend. So this is how I do every day. I go to the clinical every week. So I do 2 days in a week in the clinical. Then I come back. I have to uh, work the rest of the week. And then the night I have to still sit up and do my assignment. So I really had no social life, no interaction with outside world. Um, it's always hard for me to even turn my TV on to see what's happening on the news. So it's just a little difficult, but it's doable. I'm not just saying only the bad part of it. It's doable. And I know when I started, a lot of people tried to discourage me or said things. Oh, there is no job in the market. There is no job for nurse practitioners. Oh, if only you can go to mental health. Mental health has more job. Oh, that's a story of another day. I may have to talk about that too one of these days. But so at the end of the day, it's still this is just my experience, and like a lot of people ask me to do something like that, or tell them how the program went, what I'm doing, if I'm working, if I found a job as a nurse practitioner. And that is all this I'm saying is my own experience. So if you have a different experience, um, you can comment down below. But this is just my own experience. So it was hard for me. I didn't have anybody. And most times some people, is either their parents are doctors, they own a clinic or something. So they have more advantage to those of us who just started from the scratch without having anybody around to help and to guide you. So I'm so grateful it's done. That is taken care of. So I graduated and I felt so sick. I think it was the month or the week that I had my graduation came back. I was so sick that I tried to hold it because I have never been to the hospital, never been admitted. I used some over the counter medication, try to self treat myself, but it didn't work out for me. It was around 1 a.m. in the night, then I had to go to the emergency room. Thank God for one of my guests who helped take me to the emergency room, and there and then I was hospitalized for a couple of days and was taken care of, and I came back and started preparing for my board exam again. Um, but that is to say that um, everything kind of stopped at that point because I was sick. I couldn't help it. And that's why I haven't been able to do anything. I haven't been able to come back to this YouTube channel to, talk to my subscribers. I know it's been almost 2 years now since I came back here, but I'm going to try again to start putting out videos as much as I can. Like I said, this is just going to be a short video on how I started this journey. But when next I come back, I will further go into it and tell you what kind of nurse practitioner I am and where I'm working now and how I like it. And so that is just it, because I want to make just short videos so that way my viewers can who are in other part of the world can watch it without a lot of spending a lot of data. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a blessed day. See you in the next episode.